Good afternoon, everyone. Hold on. I've just got to do the settings for you. And then I will be in chat. Hi, those that are watching this back as well. And hi to everyone that's joining me or coming in right now. And we are on Saturday already. Happy Saturday, guys. Yes, Tilly. Hi, Nelly. I think your settings are okay. Hi, Susie. You tell me in chat if there's any sound issues, picture issues, any of that. Hi, Joey. Hi, Chloe. And yes, Tilly's feeling so much better. Hi, Dar. Hi, Michelle and Joanne. And hey, Isabel. Yes, Isabel, that's the colours. That is Ocean and the bubble gum. Yeah, she's feeling so much better now. Hiya, everyone. Hi, Honey Bear. Hiya, Helly. Just bear with Tilly. She's having a good old session at me at the moment because she's not been well for a couple of days. Hiya, Sue. Hi, Tanya. I was in Isabel's stream just prior to my one, and I was just letting my nails dry while I was talking to everyone, and I said I've got Ocean and Bubblegum, and that was the colours. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Tanya. Hi, everyone. You can see which artist I have thrown back to today. We are going to do a Bennett Kleins. Never done Bennett on my channel. He is one of my forgotten artists. Completely forgotten artist, and I feel so bad. So we're going to do one today. Hi, sis. Hiya, everyone. Hi, Joanne. Hey, guys coming in. I hate saying that. I'm going to change that. Hi, everybody. The reason I don't like it is because not all guys. There's so many women here. So I say it. Oh, my gosh, Tilly. Hi, Phoenix. It's because you're all mixed. You're not guys. Oh, really? You know, Sue. Hiya, Melody. That's okay. Enjoy your Chinese. Thanks for popping in. Yeah. Susie, I say, I'm throwing hearts and waves around. Hold on. I'm just going to, just bear with me. I will be back 2 seconds. I'm just going to put Tilly on her gym because she's just all of a sudden gone very loud. Hi, Louise. Hi, Adri. Hi, Jamie Fran. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you. Hey, missus. You're not supposed to shout the house down. She has not been feeling good, and today she's saved all of her screaming and shouting for you guys. Yeah, she's very chatty at the moment. Hi, Carmen. Hey, everybody coming in. Hi, Bridget. So, yeah, what we're going to do today is we're going to throw it back to what I think is a very forgotten artist. I haven't seen many people do many of Bennett's pictures for a long time, and I think quite a lot of us have got him in our collection one way or another, and quite a few people also are quite scared because of the grey scale nature. So I thought we'd go back to him. Hi, Pat. Hi, Oliver. So I'm just going to screw, there we go. That's okay, you be a lurker. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jane. So, yeah, I have this thing where I was like, do you know what? We get all the new books come into our collections and we focus because we get so absorbed into, Susie, well, maybe you will after this. We get so absorbed into the latest ones, we forget about some of the ones that we maybe would have had in the beginning. Now, just mind Tilly, because she saved all of her screaming for this particular minute in time. So just bear with her. Hi, Kenny. That's okay, Gia. You lurk away. Hi, Mum. Yeah, I love the dragon one. So I pulled out all of his, and the one that I particularly really like and I think will look striking is the fox one with the baby foxes. So I think I was going to focus on this, and I was going to use Inktense Prismas and I might use some distress inks, like Caran has really been a heavy influence towards distress inks, but we'll see. But I might put some Inktense down and work from there and put some Prisma details, and we'll see. But I really like these books, and I've not done any in a while, so I pulled every single one that I own out. Hi, Tony. Yeah, she's so much better today. Christ, you can hear her. Yes, Grace, and hi, Grace. We are going to. Hi, Tony. I thought it'd be a nice idea. Now, I really like the characters book, so this one, and I really like the Wild book and his darker book. Now, some of these are too detailed. We're never going to get done. Hi, Sandy. Hi, anyone and everyone coming in. Hi, Kiki. That's okay. Well, welcome over. Wild is great, and it's probably my favourite out of his. Now, let me just quickly show you. The other one that I was maybe going to do was going to be the Piggy. So if you are someone that doesn't like bird sounds, Tilly's just having a moment. She will quieten down in a minute. She's getting it out of their system. Hi, April. But this one is my particular favourite, and I'll give you a quick flip through before we start it. But I've just picked that one out because I really like the foxes in it, and I think they would look very striking once they're done. So look at the picture. It's just a really stunning picture. So you've got the hummingbirds, you've got the lilies, you've got this border, and then you've got the foxes, which I don't think will take too long. Yeah, she's feeling so much better today. And of course, I love koalas. I think they're gorgeous. But this was another one that enabled me on this book because I've got Buzz. I know. See, I think we are all guilty of abandoning Bennett's books. So I'm throwing it back to Bennett because Bennett was one of the originals that I bought. I bought his first, his first ever one, which was this one. So it was called Colour My Sketchbook, and I did one. Now, don't forget, I've been colouring 4 years, and I did this like 4 years ago. I did one of his a long time ago. It was so flat. Look at the skin. This is what I mean by you can see your progress over the years, and that was pastels on the cheap pencils, the Faber-Castell student brand, and some. I think that's when I bought the Faber-Castell soft pastels, and that was when I started colouring in the very beginning of my journey. So this is a throwback to Bennett, and this was bought I think 4 years ago, nearly, almost. So we are going to throw it back to Bennett, and today we're going to do Wild, and we're going to see how far we can get. Now, I have quite a few of his books, but I pulled them all out because I was having a good little look through before I came on. And this is another really nice one. So if you've not seen the Dragons one, it is a really nice book. And if you're, I know there's quite a lot of dragon fans in the community. There's quite a lot of people who like the dragons. And this one has got both black backgrounds and white, and also a mixture. And it is really nice. So you can have a good flip of his books. His books are all out there on the internet. On YouTube, there is flip throughs for every single one I've searched. So if you want to have a good look, just type in the title and you will find a flip through of nearly every single one of these. I'm pretty sure there is every single one I've looked up. I know, Kiki, we are all the same. The books is from Amazon. So you can buy them on Amazon. I think we're all guilty of that. Hence why I'm throwing it back, and we are going to do one by him. Now, this is one of my favourite books. This you cannot buy. You can only buy darker now. So this was the first one, dark. And he then brought out darker. So this is really well sought after. That's okay. There is no rush. You've got till the 28th of July, but I'm going to have a good thought through my emails tomorrow, everybody. I promise you. I haven't looked on there yet, and I'll email everyone that's emailed me with their pictures for the HK5 project. I will get back to you when I've read them all tomorrow. So this one is really, really sought after. This is the first one. However, you can buy darker, which has got the same pictures. All right, Grace, I'm going to have a look tomorrow, and I will promise you I will say received. I'll send you back an email to say received. No, there's no rush. You got to the 28th of July. But these are really nice. You can buy PDFs. I really like them. I think they're great because they're a mixture. And I know if you subscribe to DD, which I know nearly everybody here does, yeah, they've got the extra pics in there in darker. You would have seen that DD absolutely loves Bennett. She does Bennett quite a lot. She hasn't done it for a while, so maybe this will inspire Miss DD to get back onto her Bennett. So these are the extras in darker at the back, and they are really different. He's got a very unique style, but he is a tattoo artist, isn't he, as well? So there is a lot of things that he has got under that belt of his, and he's so nice as well. Hey, Becky. Hi, everyone that's coming on in. Hi, Jude. So I am going to do one out of Wild today, if you don't mind, and we're going to get stuck into that, and we're going to throw it back to Mr. Bennett and enjoy one of his books that I have had in my collection for what seems like forever. One of the first, and that has been deadly abandoned. So we will be doing this book today. I'll do a flip through for you now before we start, and then we'll just jump on in, and then I can talk to you all as well. So we're going to use mix tools today. Hi, Honor. So I've got a cup of tea, and I've actually got some digestive biscuits that are sugar-free. Okay. So what we've got here is got dedicated to the community that brings this work to life, which I think is really important because it's like a collaboration, isn't it? Hi, Gary. Hi, everyone coming on in. So don't worry about me munching on digestive. You've got to have a bit, you've got to have a biscuit sometimes, and these ones are sugar-free. And then you've got the index. So this one's called Wild, and obviously it's, you know, wildlife in general and plants. So we've got a mixture of both. But then he always has a spin of putting these like filigree borders and sort of very ornate borders and sort of mandala styles around the back. And I think his daughter also, May, she collaborates with him quite often, doesn't she, with her borders, and she does the Mandalas books. Yes, you did, Gary. And they're sugar-free, so they're sin-free. The biscuits are out. Yeah, sugar-free. Sugar-free. Okay. Okay, right at the time. They are gross. They're so cute. So I'll give you a quick flip through before I start. And yay to sugar-free and biscuit brew. We are going the full way with the biscuits today. Hey, Michelle. Hi, Katrina. So if you're new here and you're new to the community or the live streams, if anyone wants to, I'll send you a link, Susie. You can get them online, but you can get them in the shops as well. I know, but we're going to say sin-free here. This, what was I saying? I can't remember now. Oh, that was it. I was reading the chat. It completely lost my trail. Okay. If you're new to the community and you're new to the live streams, if there's anything that you want to catch my attention with, or you're talking to me, stick it in caps. If there's anything that you're talking amongst yourselves, obviously in small. If you see people with the blue names and the spanners, it is my moderators. And we are a live stream, which means it's real time and live chat. So I can't edit. Ian, hey, Seasoned, how are you doing? I love this one. Okay, so I'm just going to do a quick flip because I'm pondering a lot today. I'm on slow-mo. I'm on slow-mo today, but I hope you don't mind. And then I'm going to fill you in on my adventures, and then I'm going to sit and see how you all are. I absolutely love sloths. We're going to do the 3 foxes that I've just gone past. So I'm going to do mixed media today. They're super cute. I know, sloths are beautiful. Now, he's got a very unique tattoo style, which I think is adorable, because he puts like a twist, and it's got a Bennett Kleins twist, and I think his style is quite, it's unique. Can I recommend a good video for fur and also feathers? Kiki, I've not watched one myself yet, but I know feathers is Dee Dee. She does really good feathers. How was Hugh Jackman in the flesh? I'm going to fill you in. I'm going to fill you in on my amazing evening. Let's just say I was in heaven. Yeah, I am, I'm sure, Mum. I love this one, but I was going to do this originally, but I thought I'm going to be focused too much on the background and not on the actual animal because pandas are black and white. Yes, Mum. I am being, what is it? Adventurous more. No, I really like that. I know, I think I've been hit on the head recently because I've been colouring animals an awful lot. I do, Grace, I do, but I'm not feeling them at the moment, but I go through phases, and I think everybody's a mood colourist. This one's a very steampunkish. That's what I mean. He's got quite a lot of symmetry going on as well. Hey, Laurie. So, yeah, I really fancied a Bennett today. I thought, let's throw him back because I don't see Bennett around too much. And I really, really like these. They're gorgeous as well. Oh, you want a story? Andrew will tell you he's home because he's not feeling too well. We went out, took Chip out about an hour ago, and a bee landed on my leg and I absolutely freaked. So it says, with 30 years of professional design illustration experience behind me, I can honestly say that these books are the most creative fun I've had yet. I hope you enjoyed it too. Okay, so we are going to do these ones today, and I really am looking forward to doing them. I am. I'm a very, very mood colorist. I really do just go with what my mood takes me, and whether that's going to be portraits or botanicals or animals, which doesn't happen very often, but we're going to do today. I'm really looking forward to it. He is. And I think we all need to go back to him for a bit because I feel like he's been abandoned. So we're going to do that here. And it'd be good to see you all if you want to join, and not this particular picture, but do a Bennett Klein. It'd be great to see you do one. And don't forget, guys, we've got the HK5 project as well. So we're going to do this one today. And I think I'm going to start off with my Inktense. I'm going to tell you how it goes on this paper because this paper is very thin. Yeah, I would. I say all of us are. So hi, everyone. Grayscale scares me. Kiki, it did me for so long. And it's only now that I'm venturing out of my comfort zone. And I must admit that. So let me grab all my tools. I do, it's so cute. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start off with a base of Inktense. I'm not going to have a really wet brush. I'm going to get a good base down on it. I'm going to work with some Prismacolors, and I think I'm going to put some Distress Inks on here too to create that texture with the oranges. Now, I did buy this one, which is called Spiced Marmalade. And what I did to show you the colours, instead of me using my dabbers just to show you colours, I cut up some squares of paper and I'm just going to touch that down so you can see the colours. So this one is a really nice deep orange. I don't know if the camera's picking that up really nicely. And I thought this one would go pretty well. And I think I would also mix in really well with Fired Brick. So I think the two of them combined would be a nice combination of doing the darker areas of the fox to the lighter areas of the fox. So I'm going to have a go with putting them over for some texture on the fur. Thankfully, with the fur, I am going to try and put a base down first because we've got quite a lot going on. And then we're going to add the texture as we go with Prismacolors and Distress Inks. So I'm going to bring you down ever so slightly. So you're going to just move for a minute. Grace, you can buy them on Amazon. I bought these on a site in the UK. I think it's called Crafty. What was it called, Lou? Crafty Paper, Crafty Devil. Can't remember the name of it now. Let me tell you. So if you're in the UK, it's called Crafty Devil's Papercraft. You don't own. Oh no. Try one, Laurie, and see how you get on. You might find that you really enjoy them because you get stuck in with everything. Okay, so I'm going to have a sip of tea. Right, so what I'm going to do is grab my good old Inktense, which I've been using quite a lot in the ink house. I have sent everybody's happy mail out this week. So everyone should have received or be on receiving ends of their happy mails. So these are the Inktense colours, these ones. And I'm looking at mixing up some colours for the foxes. So I'm going to go for these mid vermilion, burnt oranges, tangerines, up against mixing with the red oxide and baked earth. Happy mail is things that I've sent out for gifting. I've sent people out some gifts this week, Kiki. The giveaway winner and some pictures. Oh, there's loads. There's so many, but go for the pictures that you use most. That's I always say that. So if you're using, oh, I don't know, leaves most, or you're using flower colours most, try those rather than going for just random colours. If you're someone that uses oranges a lot or someone that uses blues a lot, try a couple of variations in those. Hi, Kiki S. We've got Kiki B and Kiki S in the house. Go and watch Caran. Go and watch Caran. Yeah, I'll send every now and then. I'll send out happy mail to people and they hopefully receive them. I just don't announce it. I just send them out and then I get a, I've received it. So, but people want a giveaway as well. So Pam, her ink house is heading all the way to Australia. Okay, so I've also got myself my board, which is the Caran Dache Board. I'll tell you everything after in the description, but I'll talk you through. Okay, so this is the Caran Dache Aquarelle board, which I really like, and I use my watercolour pencils on this and my Neo colour pencils on this, and it's good for mixing up colours. I also just cut myself some squares to test out colours on just before I put it down on the paper to make sure I've got the new blend that I was looking for. So if I've stuck down two colours together on the board and before I go plonking it on there, I want to make sure that this is completely right before I go and do that. So just grab yourself a piece of A4 paper and just cut them into squares. I've always got them beside me. It's just something I do. And rather than go ahead and make a boo-boo on my page, which I tend to do quite a lot, I just have a good little quick test out. Hi, Pickle. Hi, Pat. Did I say Pat? If I didn't say Pat, hi, Pat. And I also, if I'm doing the distress inks, I just quickly touch the top to see the colour. Now, you'll find that you'll get to know your colours inside out after a little while. I think most of us do. But for the purposes of being here, I'm going to show you that. Hi, Kenny. Anyone I may have missed, I'm so sorry. The chat does go quite quick, and I might miss a couple of you, but it's not intentional. Right, so I'm going to look at these colours now. Now, I really like the red oxide and the baked earth out of this palette, so I'm going to grab those. So red oxide and the baked earth. So they're out of those palettes. Then out of my oranges, at the very top, I like the burnt orange, the mid vermilion, so I'm going to grab those. I'm going to grab the tangerine as well, just so that it brightens it up a little, just somewhat, not too much. And what is also another nice colour, if you want to put a yellow tone in there, is Sienna Gold. Oh, I told you, I'm on slow motion today, Kenny. You're going to have to really bear with me. Do I have a glass pen? I do, but I've not used it just yet until I've got to grips with the brush lettering with my Tombow pen. Once I've done it, I then move on to the ink because I don't want to mess things up. Yes, you can. Don't worry, you can share your stream times, guys. Share away. Right, so I've grabbed those colours, and it's a good thing. What I did with the Inktense, rather than do this in my book, I bought A5. Is that the, yeah, A5. A5 sheets of watercolour card at 300 gram. I don't know what that is in pounds, but 300 gram. And I just always put these watercolor pencils on these, because I've done them in my book as well, but not the Inktense, because they can just go through if not. I haven't, Laurie, no. Okay, so what I'll do, just to get my base colour down, I'm going to use a couple of my colours. So this is Tangerine. This is the Inktense, Derwent Inktense. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that one's called Ocean and that one's called Bubblegum. I really like the combination. I'm usually someone that has one odd now. It's a learning curve. I think everything is a learning curve. Baked Earth, I'm not an expert, but I love to have a good little learn with stuff and get stuck in. I think most of us do. Okay, so and this is the burnt orange. So I'm just going to mix on my palette. This is the red Oxide. That's only a little bit of this one because that's quite dark. And then this is the mid Vermilion. So I'm going to put that down as well. And all it is getting a good mixture. So I'll repeat those colours just in case. So that's burnt orange, mid Vermilion, red Oxide, baked earth, and tangerine. And it's nice to have a little mix up on your palette. Yeah, Jamafran does quite a lot of series. So if you want to go on, head on over, you can click people's 3 dots and it will take you on over. Didn't you do a test one? I'm sure I saw you do a test one. That means you're heading towards that way, aren't you? Let us know. You can come in and let us know so people can head on over if they want to choose to. Hey, Louise. That's okay, sweet. Got a mouthful of biscuit. It is Colour My Sketchbook Wild by Bennett Kleins. Okay, so I've also got a Derwent No. 2 brush, which isn't the finest one, but it's got a fine point, which is my new favourite at the moment. Okay, so with foxes, I'm going to go for quite a light area. Now, I don't want too much ink, so I'm going to mix them to like quite a deep orange. So this is baked earth and tangerine. I want to mix up. I'm going to want to grab a little bit of that red Oxide in there as well. Now, I haven't got a hugely wet brush because this paper is so thin. So I'm going to bring up some of that colour in. The other colours can wait till after. So just at a distance, I'm just going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm just going to start straight away with putting where I want the light and dark. Now, the grayscale, again, has given you a little bit of a starting point. So just roll with that. It's not got to be perfect because this is just our base. It's given us something to work with. We're going to do one fox first. We're going to do this little baby one. My brush is barely wet, guys, because what's going to end up happening is the paper's going to really wrinkle on this one because the paper in Bennett Kleins is Create Space, but it is so thin. And don't forget, the Create Space paper in the beginning with the Bennett Kleins books, I found, was thinner than the rest. And this is like a while ago now. Now you're going to use your Prismacolors as well. So they have some lighter areas. So we're going to use the lighter tone here. And they have some darker areas. Now I'm going to do that quite light. We're going to come in with our pumpkin orange from our Prismas as well. So I really do like to mix up my medium because I think it's a good way of using everything as well. So if you've got all these supplies there and you're not quite sure, just mix them up. You know, what's the worst that's going to happen? But something doesn't work, you won't use it again. Something we'll use it. It's fine. Okay, so it's a very damp, mild damp brush. It's not soaking, it's not wet. I like to use words twice, if you've realised. When I'm explaining stuff, I've realised to do that, and it's very annoying. I'm sorry. As I said, I'm on slow motion today, so please bear with me. So, yes, let me fill you in if you want to listen. Do you want to listen? I'm hoping you do. Okay, so the other night I went to see Hugh Jackman at the O2. I'm going to bring some of that in. And I went to see The Man, the Music, the Show. So it was a production at the O2 that Hugh Jackman and his team had worked on for 8 years. Now, Zoe Archer, over at Zoe Archer's channel, she went to see it at Birmingham, and I went to see it at London because I'm from London. And Andrew bought it for my anniversary in December, our anniversary. And I was over the moon. Needless to say, when I got there, my dream came true, because not only did I have a great time with Hugh being on stage, and it was something like, it was a bit about his life. He did a bit of everything. He did The Great Showman. Oh my gosh, I was in heaven. And then he did just bits from musicals, Les Mis. He did bits from, I'm just bringing some of this red oxide in. He did bits from the Oklahoma. As I said, this is just our base coat. We're going to work from this after. He did bits from, I'm trying to think now, Gene Kelly, Singing in the Rain, Luck Be a Lady, the Old Mackie's Back in Town, just a bit of everything. Talked about his life, talked about his career. And then to top it off, which is my favourite song in the world, is This Is Me by Keela Settle in The Great Showman. And I said to Andrew, because it wasn't advertised that she would be there, I said to Andrew, it would be my dream come true if she sang that song. I bawled like a baby. And I mean, Andrew will tell you, I was shaking. I was so happy. I was on cloud 9. I bawled and bawled and bawled like a baby. And needless to say, my night was made. And I came out of there on such a euphoric high. I can't even tell you how amazing that show was. So yes, if you are not a Hugh Jackman fan, where have you been? And if you, honestly, if you just take in that man's talents, it's crazy. He can sing, he can dance, he can act, he can do everything. And she's an incredible woman. She had a stroke a year and a half ago, Keela Settle, and she had to learn to walk and talk and sing and do all of that. And she was on the big stage belting that tune out like nobody's business. And I just couldn't stop crying. Oh, it was just, I'd love to go again. But it's finished now. He's back over to the USA. He's going to the USA for 2 months, and then he finishes the whole tour in Australia, back in his hometown, which I think is brilliant. So Keela's going to be at the America shows, and then he's going to finish everything up in his country, so Australia. It was the most incredible time ever. I had the best night in the world, and I can only thank Andrew. Andrew. Okay, he hasn't put the ring on the finger yet, but one thing that man does do, he looks after me so well in terms of just being so supportive, and he does the nights out with me, and he embraces all of my musical theatre loves, and we had the best night ever. So yeah, that was brilliant. And I was in heaven. I really was in heaven. So I'm going to give some of this here a little bit of grey white, but for the most part it's just going to be an orangey fox, like the ones I have around here. One of them is completely orange. This one's going to have a lot of white in the fur, and this one's going to have a mixture. So yeah, that was it. I know. It was amazing. The Greatest Showman is I cannot describe the feeling I have in me when I watch that film. And I know that sounds silly because it's just a film, but it come at a time in my life when I wasn't sure how to be. I had to learn new ways, like a new normal, if that makes sense. So I'd been like, I've always loved musical theatre. And then this came along when I was in bed one night, and I was having a really bad pain day, and I watched it in bed, and that was it. I was hooked, and I stopped that film and I was crying because I was so high. And I said to Andrew, that was the best thing I think I've ever watched in my life. And he said, really? And I was like, yeah, it was the best thing. And I think every single one of us can relate to something having that emotional connection to us at some point in our lives, whether that be a song, whether that be a film, whatever it might be. Yes, go and pull it out. Oh my gosh, I'd be hunting him down, but out of not being a stalker, out of just wanting to meet him. Okay, so I'm going to leave that on the board because we're going to reactivate that. It has to be dry. Now this is, I'm going to bring, do you want me to bring you down a little bit more? I don't know if I'm zoomed in. Am I zoomed in? No. Okay. So as you can see, this is just the Inktense, and this is just a base. We're starting with a base. Pickle, you're the same as me. You love This Is Me. It's your favourite song too. Well, girl, I'm telling you, this song, when she sang it, I can't even tell you the euphoric feeling. I was bawling, and I mean bawling. I could cry now. It was incredible. It was the most amazing thing. Okay, so what I'll do with that is let that dry. Actually, I'll do this little fella here, and I'm going to do him a bit darker. So what I'm going to bring in is a little bit more of the baked earth, because it's a little bit more brown. And I'm going to mix that in with some of the red oxide there. So you see it's made this really nice sort of pumpkin orange tone. Okay, so we're going to bring it down to this fella here. And I'm going to have to sort of really be a bit more mindful of where I'm going with this, because I want some whites in here. So just with your Inktense, I'm not doing them as layered up. I do that in the ink house, but this I'm just doing them as a base because I really like to use them. I'm going to be mindful of these areas because these areas are going to be white, like a white and grey. So just leave them because we're coming back with our Prismacolors. And we're going to make those eyes really stand out after. So just be mindful. Yeah, me too, Amanda. Hugh Jackman is, well, he's Wolverine. He is the man. It is amazing. And he's got a career spanning a stupid amount of time. I didn't realise. You know, he made his big, I think, break with Wolverine. But I don't think prior to that he was ever anything short of amazing. He's multi-talented. Okay, so I'm going to get more of that red oxide in there. And we're just planting in where we want to go. So don't be worried about where you're going with this at the moment, because this is always, I find grayscale is so much better working from a base and upwards, if that's how I'm going to do this one. He does. He's incredible. Honor, if I could have taken you, I would have done, because Honor's another one. And Lou and Honor are like me. They love it. Pickle, I would have taken you just for that song alone, because you love it. That's what I said to Melody earlier. I was having a conversation in Isabel's stream, Passionista Colorista, about musical theatre and stuff. And it would be just amazing to be able to get everybody together in London and go for a night on West End, go and see a show, go for a film, or like another night and go for a meal and just do like a weekend, you know, it'd be amazing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is grab a little bit more of the baked earth. So we're coming back to these colours. We're going to come back constantly. I'm just going to darken this bit underneath because this is very dark. He's got a white outer edge there, so we're going to keep that as a white and grey, which we're going to do with our Prismacolors. His tiny little mouth there has got a little bit of orange. And we're going to roll with the sort of pattern of grayscaling that Bennett's given us. So he's given us quite a lot of prompts here, so we're going to go with that. You can see on that one where there's a lot of white. Come anytime. Yes, I would love to fly. If I won the lottery, I'd fly you all. Hiya, Sammie. Oh my gosh, no, I can't imagine because it would just be amazing. Honestly, girls, if I could get you all here from America, Malaysia, wherever you are, Australia, all of you, it would be great. Let's win the lottery, eh? Let's aim for it. I'm going to leave Mother Fox because this is dry and we're going to come back. Mother Fox is going to be last because we've got these two little guys here. I think it's so nice to just do something. I don't know if I'm going to finish it in one stream. Never. Never. So it's going to be a couple of streams. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Prismas. Girls and Gary. But Gary's already in the UK. Hi, Kimberly. And Kimberly. She could come. Prismas was quite slow though, wasn't it? But I love him. Okay, so I'm going to get my Prismacolors here. And we are going to have pumpkin orange, of course. It's my favourite Prisma. We need some white. I'm just going to grab my luminance white because that's just nearest. But you can grab your Prismacolor white. Now, you need a very slight grey. We're going to have a slight grey, so it's going to use... I like the French grey. So let's find 20% French grey there. That's for the round about the noses. And we can also get some cream. I'm going to pick up our Tuscan Red for some darker areas and some Sienna Brown. And then we need Goldenrod. Yep, I thought that was the one. I'm just picking out some colours and we'll go with what I pick out. If there's any more, I'm just trying to see if there's another tone that I would like. I quite like the bronze, that will come in handy. It sounds like a bizarre choice, I know, but just trust me. Trust me. Trust Sam. Mineral orange. I think that would be all right for now. Now I need a slight light orange, but we'll dig one of those out after. Oops. I know, but we're just doing it as like a whole. I'm not being specific. Not being specific. Okay. So let's get our oranges out. Pumpkin orange is going to be probably my best friend. No, that's fine. But I wasn't being specific or being rude. I was just trying to, just as a whole. It's for everyone. All right, so I'm going to get all these lovely colours and I'm just sharpening up. I love this sharpener. This is a Swordfish desktop sharpener. Okay. So if there's anyone come in and I've missed you, thanks for joining us. We are doing a Bennett Kleins Wild. So it's the Bennett Kleins Colour My Sketchbook Wild. Right, ready? Are we ready? Let's see what we can do. Okay, so I'm going to go for this fella up here because he's going to be my dark one out of all of them. So I'm going to pick up my Prismacolor, and this is pumpkin orange. I must buy another one of these. I seem to go through this colour the most. I'm just going to do sort of little tiny strands and start building up some of this colour. Now I'm going to follow the line of coming sort of down towards his nose. Do you want me to come in a little bit more? Okay, just bear with me. Is that close enough before it starts to... Hey, hi guys coming in. Hey Melissa, good to see you. Okay, is that nice and clear for you guys? Yeah? Everybody, stop me saying guys. So pumpkin orange, and I'm just bringing up these tiny little strands. So we're going to attempt fur, but not on an extraordinary scale. I'm not great at fur. This is my nemesis. But I really like the pictures, so I've got to get out of this zone. And if I can do it, you can do it. So these tiny, tiny little strands is pumpkin orange PC1032. and it's too much of a cute picture to take away. Hey, Becky! You're colouring your first grayscale page now. In what? What are you doing? What are you doing, Sammie? Tell us. Share with us. So I really like these little guys. Now, Bennett has got a really nice way of drawing animals, as does Tim Jeffs. So if you're going to get 2 books with animals in that you want looking realistic, I'd say go for those 2 guys. And they are extraordinary. Oh, okay. I'll have a look. Let's have a look at Sammie's page. Is it the Christine Caran one? Yeah, there's no offence by me saying just man and female, so hopefully everybody's okay with that. Yes, the Christine Caran one. So this is Sammie's setup. We're going to go back again. Okay. We ready? So she's doing the Christine Caran one. So do I. That's her little space. It's so cute. So that is what you started. There we go. Right, so all these little tiny strands, the good way, what I find with these strands as well, is just keep turning your pencil. So you'll find I do that quite a lot, and that's just to keep with it. Well, good luck on your venture with grayscale. You'll find that it's not as daunting as we first thought. Okay, so I'm going to bring all these little strands up here as well. And do them in small. So you know how we do hair? It's not unsimilar. You're going with the fur that has been drawn for you. It's a lot harder to do if you're not drawing the fur in with what's already been provided. So you know that some of them are just one big open space and you need to put the sort of strands in yourself. That's a lot harder. And it's a lot harder to sort of think up now, which way would that go and which way would this go? The good thing with grayscale is kind of there for you. And that's where we say about aiding. I know Kenny said that she, loves grayscale. And I can kind of see why now. It's not as bad as I first thought. It really isn't. And the grayscale is there to aid you. It's not there to put you off. So when you first start and all you've ever done is line art, when you then jump on over to grayscale, just imagine it as an aid. So this area here, I'm going to just swap on over for a second to my Goldenrod, which is PC1034. And I'm just going to give him a little bit of a lighter area coming up before I go over with any darker colour, because I just want some light patches to come through. So tiny little strands, nice sharp pencils, and follow the pattern of it. It is some patience, but it pays off, I think. Are you doing a grayscale month? Sorry, I did not realise that. So what's today's book? What's today's book? What are you doing then, Grace? You can. What's your month? I haven't written it down. I've got to write people. If everyone's got any things that they're doing, this is what I do each month. I write them all down. See, I write a list here of everybody's hashtags. So if you've got a hashtag, let me know. I'll jot it down in my page. Because if I want to join in any, or I've got the time to join in any, I will do. I'll pick out of the ones that I can or what my taste goes with, and I can let everybody else know as well and what's going ahead for the month. I know Shalene does that. She does her Friday reads and she informs everyone what's going on. Okay, so in this little section here, I'm going to bring out my French Grey. So it's 20% French Grey. June Grace. Yeah, you've got the I've got your one written down, but let everybody know. So I've got Creative Backgrounds with a Z written down. Yeah, I know, right? This is Fox season here at the moment. Selena Bennett. Okay, so this is PC1069. And this is just to put the grey in, because they've got a little bit of grey around their nose, and their white is never fully white. So I'm just putting that in on their white areas. So it's not fully white, remember. She's got a tiny bit of grey and cream to their coat. Oh, you've done it onto coat. What are you doing the Copics then? That sounds like a fun venture, Grace. Okay, so you need a black as well. I know. It sounds like someone's being murdered outside when they're playing. They scream. I'm getting my cream, which is PC914. It's so right. You're so right. They do. We've got a family, and they usually hunt Chip, but they're actually becoming a little bit more friendly, and they keep their distance, but I still don't trust them because Chip's so small. Okay, I'm just grabbing my black, and his little nose here, I'm just going to make sure that he's shaded in a bit. So we'll try and speed this process up in a moment. I'm just going to get some of that black in there. You know, it comes out the ears slightly. Around the eyes, I'm just doing very light touch, very, very light touch. And this little mouth, I'm just going to shade around there. Just tiny amounts, tiny amounts. The thing is with black, you don't want to overdo that, because it sort of takes and detracts from the colours. But what it can do is enhance, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the enhancement and not the overtaking of, you know, the colour itself. Just to enhance what we've already done. So they've got these whiskers, so I'm going to put those in. And just make sure that their little nose is fully in. So can you see that? It kind of enhances it. Oh, nice. And yeah, big hugs, Jane. Jane's had a rough week, bless her. She lost her cat. So if everyone wants to throw some love in Jane's direction, that would be highly appreciated. Jane Beaven. Mineral Orange PC1033. And we're going to move down to the body in a minute. So just tiny little areas. What we're going to do with the Distress ink in a minute is just put some texture and just fade it outwards. But won't need much, because we've done pretty much all of it with pencils. And I think it's enhanced it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to come down to this area here before. That's going to be white. We'll do the eyes last. And we're going to put down some of the pumpkin orange first, because that's our darkest shade. So just follow the pattern of the fur. So keep going with it. That's going to be our darkest areas on the foot. So we're going to bring in some sienna brown. So very small strokes, like little hair strokes. Just build them up, build them up, build them up. And that's what to keep doing. Just keep building up that process. You got dark areas, light areas. We'll start with dark, work our way to light just on this part, because I can see all the dark areas where the fur needs to go. So just keep bringing those strands in. And allowing the build up. Hey, Selena. And the same with this section here. Now, grayscale's a new area, animals is a new area for me. So we are testing things out together. Now on Tuesday, I will try, I'm going to do, you know, my tryout Tuesdays where we test something new out. We're going to do polycolours, but I'm going to combine it. And I'll do a conversion, and I'm going to do that with the mermaid skin. but it's not mermaid skin. She's like an eel. So we're going to do the Polycolours by Kohinoor, and I will do the Prismacolor conversion, but we're going to combine the Test It Out Tuesday and the skin, I think. I want to try and do both. Hi, Nana. I'm going to bring out the Sienna Brown in PC945, and that's going to come underneath here. And just deepen up underneath where the neck is. I think their bodies seem to be a tad darker before we put the lights in. We still put all the lights in those areas. And we're just building up a small amount of dark. Now, this area here is pretty darkly grayscale by Bennett himself. So where we've gone over the Inktense, we went a bit darker anyway. So when we bring our distress ink in, I think that will just deepen that up for us, which is what we're after. Then we're going to head on over to our Goldenrod. I've missed chat, guys. I will fly up in a moment. Just trying to get this colour in. Okay, so we're putting the Goldenrod, PC1034, and we're just putting a nice amount in to just lighten up some of the fur. I've got to turn my page slightly. Okay, so it's coming along how I'm kind of liking it now. Okay, and then I'm just going to bring in some Tuscan Red. Tuscan Red is PC937. You're wondering why my Prismacolor looks like this. Is the old stock. I know, it's so cute. Hi, Lisa. He is so cute. So what I'm doing here is just adding where I want the darkest to go. So it's going to be more visible underneath this area here and on the little foot. This one's going to be a mixture with more light in, and this one's going to be quite light. We've got one that is so dark by us at the moment, like super dark. It's more of a reddy tone, the one we've got outside at the moment, rather than the orange. I thought I said that the other day to Andrew, so it's got no white in it. It's more of a red, so I'm kind of basing them on the colours that I've got by me in nature. So Tuscan Red is really nice. It adds quite a deep texture to things. What do you have your slow motion set on for your chat? I know you don't have really much subs, but I don't have mine on slow motion. Just put it onto live chat, and I don't have, you're going to have to look in your settings. I've never had mine on slow-mo, I don't think. Oh. Oh, really, Jane? Do you want to see buzzing a bit then? Pat, I'll have to have a look in my settings and let you know, but I'm pretty sure if there is a setting before you go on to live stream that it's just at the normal rate. So you have to go into all your Creator Studio settings. Have you got yours on slow-mo? No. I'm not catching up because my head's been down. No, I haven't. No. I just sometimes when I'm engrossed in what I've got in front of me, I haven't put my head up for a bit, but I will do in a second. So if you can see, I've put quite a nice little texture to this little tiny boy. So yeah, Jane, where have you been? Yes, I have a hedgehog called Buzz. Yes, I do. I've had him for 4 years. Let me show you. Yeah, I've got a hedgehog. He's my little baby. One of my babies. I've had him 4 years now. Well, 4 and a bit years. Let me show you him. There's my little Buzz. I'll get him out after. But yeah, that's Buzz. He's asleep. Yeah, so I've got one. He's cute. He's so cute. He's my little companion at times. He's great. But yeah, I've had him for just over 4 years. Let me show you another picture of him. I've got loads of pictures. So there he is. He is adorable. Oh, she got an albino. This is him asleep on the floor with me. He goes to sleep. If he sits on the floor with me, he's fast asleep. There he is. Yeah, I've got a little buzz. There you go. So if I sit and colour, well, lay and colour on the floor on a bad pain day, Buzz joins me. And yeah. Yes, you can. You can. He's a good boy. He's a very friendly boy. He's a very friendly boy. Okay, let me get on a little bit more with this. But yeah. He's cute. He is a cutie pie. I've had him, as I said, a long time now, 4.5 years, and they only live to about 5. Okay, so we've got bronze, which is PC1028. And I'm just going to add a touch of this. It is such a nice colour to add in with your oranges. I found bronze is not, it's not like a metallic-y colour. It's more leaning towards a very light brownish, subtle tone. And it really does have a nice mix in with oranges. I love it. I think it works so well with orange. And you'll find that pumpkin orange and bronze work just beautifully together. So if you ever want to dull something down and you want to add a little brown tint, I suggest and highly recommend that just grab your bronze and see how you get on. And you'll be surprised, because people think the bronze is metallic and it's not. The gold and the silver are, but the bronze isn't. It's got a really nice tone to it. I just put a little bit in and it works wonders. I love it. It's got an ever so slight sort of brownie. It's got like I'm trying to think of something that it would be similar to, but it's beautiful. It is great. I love it. Did I rescue him? No, he's not a wild one. He's from a breeder. Back to Sienna Brown at PC945. I'm just going to add a touch into the ears. And what you can also do is, you know what I'm going to say next. If you want to add white, hi Kate 13, sorry I didn't see you. Okay, let's grab your Posca, make sure it's all nice and inky. Okay, and just if you want to add a couple of just white strands also, which is great. You just want to put some extra white ones in, because they do have white in their ears quite often. Just grab your white Posca. I've got a 1 millimeter tip, and just grab a few little strands and just add them back in. There you go. Just adds a nice little texture to him. So there you go. Hi Candace. It just adds some nice little texture. Right, so I'm going to leave him a minute. We're going to come down to this one here, and we're going to come back, because we've got to do the eyes. We'll do all the eyes together, and we will do the distressing texture on them as well. Okay, so again, we're going to come to our oranges, but I'm going to come this time to the mineral orange and not the pumpkin orange, because he's one of my forgotten ones on he's my forgotten. Back to when I first started colouring, I got his books and I abandoned them. So Joanne, keep practicing. I am terrible with that, but it's just one of those things that I try and try. Oh, thank you. No, I don't. You all know me by now. Yeah, it was a throwback. This is a throwback stream. Throwback to something that's abandoned that you got in the beginning. So just throw it back. What's abandoned? So you can sit there and think now, what did you buy when you first started colouring, like in your first sort of stash of books, not your first book, your first stash, that you haven't returned to because you just abandoned them because everything else that came after has taken your attention, and throw it back to them. Okay, so I'm going to get my mineral orange in PC1033, nice and sharp, so you can see, nice sharp point. There you go. Just grab something that is abandoned and go to an abandoned stash. And it's also a good way to colour your hoard, which is what Lavella's colouring's doing. And it just grabs something back that you may have fallen in love with in the beginning, but you, for some reason or another, just because all the new exciting books come out, these are just as exciting. It's just that we forgot about them. And he's one that I never bothered with, and I don't know why, because I love his work. So we took it back. This was a throwback stream, throwback to Bennett. Let's throw it back to our guy Bennett, because I haven't seen anyone do his pictures for a long time. I know Chilli did a Bennett Kleins month last year, I want to say. I don't know, I think it was last year. Time goes so quick. Okay, so all these tiny little strands. Then this area here, I'm just going to grab, before I do more fair, I'm going to grab my goldenrod and very lightly I'm just going to bring and blend out into the white with the goldenrod. So this is our Prismacolors. Now our Inktense has given us a nice base to work with, and this is just to start bringing the fur to life. Yeah. It's the same. Jude, you're so funny. That's the same as me. I mean, if I went through my chicken pox in my folder of all the books that need to be touched, it's mental. Because I get so absorbed into the recent ones, I forget about the old ones. But let's throw it back. Grab a book. Grab a Bennett if you've got a Bennett. Grab a book that you haven't touched since you started colouring in the beginning, and just see what you can do with them, because you would have come on a lot since that point as well. So, you know, it's one of those things. Okay, back to our mineral orange. And if you want me to repeat the colours, I'll put them in the description after, but just ask me in capital letters. Yeah, I really fancied a Bennett Kleins. And I sat there the other day looking for all these books, and I thought, I've only ever done one picture of his, and I don't know why. That was naughty of me, so I'm throwing him back now. Plus, his work is insanely amazing, and he deserved a Saturday spot for me. I've been saying for a while that I wanted to get stuck into something of his, and I didn't have the courage to, because fur is my nemesis, but, you know, if a picture calls, it calls. Okay, so we're just bringing the mineral orange into the ears. If you want the number, it's PC1033. I didn't get the cards out because I wasn't sure which direction I was going. Plus, I've got so many mediums that we're going to use. So, yeah. If it's a colour along that I've planned, like the skins and stuff, I will always bring them out. But I will put all into the description of what we've used today. Oh, see, really? You did Nikki Bennett and not done hers in a while. Have another go. Yes, Colour Your Hoard is working so well. Lavella's done really well with that. I mean, she's got such a lovely channel, beautiful voice, very relaxing, just a pleasant channel, isn't she? And she came up with this tag of Colour Your Hoard. I think it's a good thing. So she's doing the Victorian Darlings this month, isn't she? By Hannah Lynn. So yeah, let's colour our hoards. Okay, so now I'm going to go over to my Tuscan Red, which is PC937. Now these ones are sort of going underneath and then sideways. But I'm going to, when you start off at the top, it's going to be a little bit darker, and as you come down, just lighten the pressure of your pencil so it's barely visible. Underneath here, we're just going to add them in again. So it's very small strokes, seems to work best. And go with the lines Bennett is giving you. So if I bring it in, Bennett gives you these little tiny lines to go with. So we're going to do that. We're going to go with some of the lines, but we're only going to do some patches darker than others. And other places will be a little bit lighter. So around here, I'm going to just deepen up with some Tuscan Red. Same on this area here. So is it showing up? Yeah. Erica, at the moment, I'll just repeat my colours again. So at the moment, we are using these colours in Prismas. We're using French Grey 20%, which is PC1069. I'll put it all in the description. Black, which is PC935. Bronze, which is PC1028. Cream, PC914. Pumpkin Orange, PC1032. Sienna Brown, PC945. Mineral Orange, that was Pumpkin Orange, the last one, in PC1033. Goldenrod, PC1034. And Tuscan Red, PC937. But I'll put it all in there because I wasn't sure which colours we were going to go with because it's going to be a mixed media piece. And I'll write all the Inktense that we use. I'll leave everything out and write everything in the description. Okay, so with the ears, I'm going to deepen up somewhat. So we're going to put the Tuscan Red, PC937. And again, remember with fur to follow the lines that have been given so it looks like the hair. If you go against it, it's going to be a mishmash of lines, which is not what we're trying to aim to achieve here. So remember, if there's anything for me to put it into caps, see if you go back to it, and you might look at it completely differently. Okay, I'm going to go to bronze, which is PC1028. I'm just going to go around the edge here a little bit. So we're going to do these areas with the white as well. So around the eyes really does go in sort of a semicircle. And we're going to add up some of that bronze in there too. Right, with the white, I've just got a luminance white, but you can use your Prisma. So if I just grab my Prismacolor, it makes it easier for you guys because not everyone has got the Lumies. Hey, Ray! Hey, Sue! Now I can see you. I see ya. I see ya. Okay, so if I just grab my Prismacolor white, it makes it a lot easier for you all. Lots of crystals, there is lots in the next one. Okay, so Prismacolor white is 938, and I'm just going to make sure that we've got the white areas that's going to be, oops, visible. I knew that would happen. Happens every time. So we're going to go round into these areas. And same with the nose. So you want this area a little bit more whiter than like the other one is less white. This has got more white in it. So we're going to go around this part as well. And add little strands in. So fair is horrible. I don't like doing it at all. But I love the picture. So it calls me. It calls me. Okay, so can you see? It's just added that extra little tiny zonk, zha into it, as I used to say to Andrew. Okay, I'm just going to... We missed you. No, you didn't, Pickle. Now you need... Well, this one is The Colour My Sketchbook Wild by Bennett Kleins. No, you didn't, Pickle. Don't tell Porkies. Okay, so back to Pumpkin Orange PC1032. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this to build up. And into what we've already done, that's really going to stand out. So I'm just going with all of this beautiful fur that he's got up here. So yeah, if anyone has got a Bennett Klein and you've abandoned these books, pull them out. Let's give him some love. Let's give Mr. Bennett some love. Okie dokie. Remember, if there's anything for me, if you're talking to me, put it in caps so it catches my eye. And then I won't miss it. Otherwise I miss it and I feel like I'm ignoring you when I'm not. Okay, so we've done the fur on those two. Here's a really nice deep shade. Mama's going to be some deeps in there, especially on this bushy tail. So we've got this big bushy tail down there. Okay, so this little fella here, I'm just going to grab my Posca white and the black. So that's what we need. So the black, he's going to put in the whiskers. We're never going to do all of this in one stream, but you know, this will be a labour of love, I think. And we've got to break up the skin that we're going to be doing, so it's good to have some other things on the go. And as I said, it's nice to bring back someone who we've probably all forgotten about for a bit. So I'm happy to do a Bennett. So I'm just going to add some small, tiny amounts of black, very fine. We try and do the foxes today. Okay. Let's grab on some underneath here. Okay. Posca white. I'm going to grab some nice little strands coming, especially out the ears. And we're going to have some coming up his little chest here. So just a small amount just to add it in, because they do have a fair amount of white on them. And I'm just going to put a tiny little shine on the noses just because they're cute. Right, let's do Mama. Let's do Mama. So we're going to go back to our... No, you know what we're going to do before we do Mama? We're going to grab the Distress inks very quickly. Okay, so the Distress inks that I was thinking about pulling out, as I said to you, was these two orangey types. It's just going to add a little bit of texture. So the two that I've got is Spiced Marmalade. Yeah, live chat shows everything. So Fired Brick and Spiced Marmalade. So I'm going to grab my Spiced Marmalade to start with, and I'm going to get my little dabbers. So I bought some extra packs of these. So these are where I keep my little dabbers, and I'm going to grab one of these ones. So they're very, very, very similar, but one's slightly darker and one's slightly lighter shade, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go for my Spiced Marmalade, and as you can see, it's a minimal amount, and I'd only just dab. So we're going to go for just a little bit. I'm just going to add a deepening up, because we've done the fur. It just adds a bit of texture. And if you want to watch anyone do these, go over to Karen's channel. Just adds a deeper shade what I'm after. So just a small amount, especially. I'm going to add a deeper shade of the Fired Brick with him. So just nice and deep. Not too much, because you still want to keep all that texture that you've just added in, which is still there, guys, by the way. It's not gone anywhere. The texture's all there. So I'm coming down to this beautiful little fella here. And I'm just very lightly, it's like the lightest touch, dabbing in this colour. So just the smallest amount, just dab in. Just make sure that you've, it's quite mesmerising when you're sitting here doing it. It just adds the deepening up of it. It just looks so good. Ray, I am so bad for your pocket. Oh my gosh, I love them. I use them quite a lot now. Okay, so with that spiced marmalade, it's this colour. So when you, it's like a sunset colour when you fade it out, and when it is down as a whole, look, it's like a really nice deep orange. Okay, and then I'm going to get my fired brick. Now, this little fella up here is the darkest, and that's what we're going to put a touch of it on. So just grab your distressing. I'm going to put it on this one because they're very similar colours anyway. And I'm just going to add the deepening, especially around his mane and his foot. So just adding a touch. You've still got all that pencil texture, which is the thing that I'm after. And I'm putting a little bit around his ears as well. So it's like a red texture. It's like that reddy fur that they've got. And as this guy is a little bit darker, this goes really, really nicely. And let me show you. That has just deepened up the redness of that one. Okay. So again, if I show you, I'm going to put one dab. That is how deep it can be. And if you rub it off, that's the colour it can go to in small, minimal amounts. So look, they're the two colours. Take care, honey bear. I love these dabbers personally. I can't work the other ones like Caran, but Karen's been doing them years and she's amazing at them. But I prefer these little dabbers, especially for these small areas. Okay, so again, with this little guy down here, we've only just put the spiced marmalade. I'm not going to put anything else on him because I wanted that as the deeper one. All right, Kenny. So nice and simple. And look, we've got two foxes done and they do look good. Hi, Charlotte. That's okay. And thank you. Okay, so we're going to move on to the big one. So remember, the Inktense, I'll repeat them. What we're going to be using is burnt orange, mid vermilion, tangerine, baked earth, and red oxide. So these are the Derwent Inktense that are water soluble. They are permanent once they go on paper. Have your clips on your paper because you don't want to over soak your page because it's such thin paper. And grab your aquarelle board, your cloth beside you, and your water brush. Now, at the moment, I think I've got enough on there to just activate up. Yeah, Amazon. They're on Amazon. Have a little look. They're called, let me tell you, Ray. Hold on. I'll tell you what they're called. So the sponge dabbers that I'm using, these ones, are called, and you can have a look. Go to my orders. So I didn't buy them too long ago. They are the Crafter's Companion is the, let me turn this down so you know. So they're Crafter's Companion and they're called dabbers. So that's what the packet looks like. So you get 5 by Royal and Land Nickel. So just have a little look for them. They're by Royal and Land Nickel, Crafter's Choice dabbers. So you get 5 in a pack. I just buy 2 packs at a time because even if I don't, they don't last. They're not expensive. They're like £3. So they're really inexpensive. Okay. So I'm just going to come back to my board here and I want a little bit more of the baked earth. Yeah, baked earth. So I'm going to put that over here on its own and I want a little bit of brown in there. So if I turn back over to my page, and this is my colour sheet, I want to tone this baked earth down with some brown. So I might mix some saddle brown in. I think that would be a nice colour to mix in with this one to make a little bit more of a brown tone, which is going to go round some of the tail because sometimes they've got a bit more of a brown tone to them. So I'm going to get the saddle earth or saddle brown, sorry, and baked earth. This is from Amazon. Everything you can buy here is on Amazon. Everything. Okay, so saddle brown and Baked Earth together. I'm going to put those up there ready for when I need it. But for now, I'm on the face. So we're going to start with putting this face of the fox and start reactivating some of these Tangerine and Red Oxide and Baked Earth up here. So we're going to get some of this colour down. Now, I'm going to start bringing in that tone from her face upwards. So remember, it doesn't matter what it looks like at this moment in time because we work on it. Oh, Connie, thank you so much. Bless your heart. Connie, you're so sweet. And hi, Connie. And Oliver, bless her. Connie, thank you for the super chat. Oh, I only looked up for a second. Oh, thank you. So you're just mixing up a little bit. Remember, this is a Derwent Inktense, so when it goes to paper, it's permanent. It's not like watercolour. You can't reactivate it. So just keep going with your colour and be very, very quick, because if you're not quick, it dries. Yes, of course, I can repeat myself. It's the Caran Dache Board. It's an aquarelle board. I'll put everything in the description after the stream. So I'm just going around by her eyes. And I'm going lightly to start with because I don't want... so you can use the tip of your brush to do like strands and just follow the strands that Bennett's giving you with its grayscale. And this is how I would do it. It just gives you a base coat to work with. So I'm going to grab some of this saddle brown here and I'm just going to mix a tiny bit in. And that's going to come up by her ears. And you can see where he's left white areas. Leave them. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Pico. I'm so glad because honestly that noise, I don't know how to stop it. It sort of does its own thing. If it comes back, Pickle, shout it at me if you're still here. And I'll have to start a new stream. Okay. So I'm going to grab a tiny bit more of that saddle brown in, and this is Red Oxide. So again, just bring those strands down. Guys, if anything goes wrong with the sound or the picture, put it in big capital letters to me. Take care, Sue. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for coming and spending some of your Saturday with me. Everything I use, all the colours, I'm going to put it in the description. So if anyone doesn't want to have to trail through, they can have a go themselves. They can just go to the description and get it all. Because I know that that's so much easier for you all to do that rather than have to trail through back again and write them all down. Okay, so again, I'm just going to bring some of this. This is Baked Earth and Tangerine. So I'm just going to mix some of that together here and we're going to bring that through and add that in. Some of these areas, leave them because they're going to be a bit more white. So we'll add Prismacolors on top of this, don't forget. So it's not going to look like this at the end. These two are finished. This one's being started. I'm going to come with the more Red Oxide underneath her here. So we're going to go a bit more deep. So deep, deep, deep underneath. Go for the deeps. The deeps are nice. So just grab some of that. If anyone wants to know again, let me know. It is, repeat. So we've got Red Oxide, Saddle Brown, Tangerine, Baked Earth, Burnt Orange, and Mid Vermilion into these foxes with the Inktense, which I think is working out pretty well. I think the mix of those Inktense colours is representing what I think and view the foxes to be. I don't know about you all, but I think it's coming out pretty well in terms of the colour range. Hi, Chilli. Thank you. We're having a go. I was just saying, I haven't seen anyone do his books, but I believe you did do a Bennett Kleins month. Was it the end of last year? Which He's one of my abandoned books, and I felt so bad. So we've got a throwback to Bennett today. We're having a Bennett Kleins day, and we're doing the foxes. Okay, so I'm going to grab some of that saddle brown. I'm just going to mix a little bit off because I only want it faint. And red oxide again. I'm going to put some deeper markings in. Okay, so where you see all the white is where we're going to have white on her. Hey, Connie. And let me grab some more red oxide and red vermilion. So this is red vermilion. And this one is, where is it gone? It's hiding from me. There we go. And this one's red oxide. So I'm just going to mix them a bit. Yeah, I think it was the end of last year. I'm pretty sure it was. Dig the books out, Lorian. Thank you. Go and dig them out. Go and dig it. This is the whole point in these videos. I think everyone that's got a channel wants to inspire someone to go dig something out or try something out or just go and discover someone they might not have had. So, yeah, go and grab them, girl. Grab. Okay. I'm just going to bring this nice deep, this mixture here underneath, as I said, is red oxide and red vermilion or mid vermilion in the Inktense. So we're using the dough and Inktense, and we're just getting it all started. Are you not feeling good, Shalene? I wish you better. Okay, so just again, don't worry about too much about the starting point, because that's the whole point. We need a starting point, don't we? We need somewhere to like rock and roll from. So be quick with the Inktense. They do go down very permanent. They are ink. They're ink. So they're permanent. Just don't worry too much about them, but don't be scared of them, but you have to work quick with them. That's the key. Okay, so I'm just picking out where I want my deep parts. So we're going underneath her mane. Let me just see. There's some deep there on the side of her. And then that's quite light. So let's go there with the light. Let's go all over. Let's grab Tangerine. And grab your Tangerine and grab some, 1 minute, what one's that one? Okay. Grab some antique white. Let's go a bit lighter. So we ready? Picking it up. I think that's become a copyright term. You should copyright that. And I'm going to put some saddle brown in that as well. So let's just go a bit lighter. Okay, let's just make sure that we've got a light tone there. I need some more white. So grab some more antique white. So just play with your colours. This is what it's about. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So just nice and light orange, not too much. The whole point is that you play, you get your colour range right. And this is what the board will come in handy for. So just, you know, play around. Hi, Donna. Oh, bless your heart. Thank you. Okay. And then what I will do is pick up a grey because, you know, the white has a slight grey tint. So over in this corner here, I'm going to put some Paynes Grey, just one line. And then I'm also going to get the antique white and do quite a lot of that, right? Make sure that your brush, hey, Christina. Make sure your brush is clean. And just drag some of that grey into that white, not much. And I'm just going to pull some of that grey white in there. It is barely visible. Can you see how that it's hardly touching that grey? So what that will do is just take off the white, but it gives me a starting point. So white, white, white. Let's put some of it all over here. You see how it really does make a difference. So let's mix. We're having a mixing session. Okay. Now there's a little bit of that white down here. Again, you're just adding, you're working, you're playing, you're rolling with what you've got. So the white again. So this is your board. Your board is your friend. So just keep mixing. Put that white and grey on the edge inwards, especially underneath this section. Are we all still with the journey? Are you with the journey? So just keep mixing. As I said, your board is honestly your best friend. Just keep mixing up. And then we're going to put some of that grey. Just slight amounts in that white area, because don't worry, we've got some starting points. There's always a little bit of grey. Now I'm going to pour a tiny bit of that brown. I'm just going to add touches of it. And I'm going to come back to this bit. You need it a bit wet, not soaking though, because remember you are on Create Space paper. Right, grab some of your grey. Oh, yeah, the trees, unhappy mistakes, Bob Ross. Yeah, see, mine at the moment is the board your friend. Yeah, the trees. The trees were your happy, what were they? Happy trees or something. I can't even remember now. My mind's gone blank. Happy trees. So we're just putting a slight amount of that grey around. I loved him. Happy trees. We've got some happy trees. Bless him. Oh, he was amazing. Okay, can you see where we've got can you see that grey tint? That is what we're after. All right, everybody, let me just go and refill my brush. Oh, I am so sorry. Let's put our pickle sign, and let me put, I'm refilling my brush. And then we're going to continue with our little foxes. Bear with me, just need to refill with some water. But I'm having a whale of a time here, and it's a good little learning exercise for me and you. Because I'm not great with fur. So bear with me, bear with me. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I just needed to refill my brush. Hi, Bliss. Hi, Shell. Hi, everyone. No, Donna, they do stain. It's inevitable. If you have any tips for me, then throw them my way. I wish mine was white now. I just think it shows it's loved. Put it that way. It shows it's loved. I think if it was completely white, it looks like it's never been used. So it's a loved board. It's a loved board. No, they do stain. There's nothing you can do about it. But I know if anybody suffers with OCD, this is Inktense. This is Inktense. Then that sort of thing can really get to you. But no, there's not much you can do, unfortunately. It's just one of those. It's a well-loved board. You need one of those in life. Please tell me how to make myself one. What materials did you use? Oh, you're talking pickle. Sorry. I didn't see it. I just noticed that. Okay. Right. We're zooming back in. Right. Are we still with me? You're still with me. So we're going to come to this area here. And we mixed on this bit. We've got some saddle brown and baked earth. So if I put that there beside me, hopefully you'll be able to... There we go. Let's put this side. Hopefully you'll see. So I'm going to mix up these two a little bit. So not much. I'm just going to... You don't want too much water. I've put a little bit too much there, but it's okay. I'll dry some off. I'm going to bring down some of that in and mix it to make that's quite a nice orange. That's okay. That's all right, Melody. If you fall to sleep, sweet dreams. So we're going to grab a little bit of that and pull some of that red oxide in as well. I've got a chip hair there. I know I'm doing fur, but I don't actually want fur in it. So we're going to bring some of that colour up. Now, you've got to work really quick with Inktense because they are permanent. And once they dry, they dry. I'm going to bring some of that red in. And we're going to go over the entire foot because she's dark foot there. So let's bring some dark red oxide into that. This is red oxide. Just pulling that up. Let's keep with that sort of, there we go. So she's gone for quite a dark base there. And then we're going to bring some more of that. I've got some tangerine here and some baked earth. And we're just going to make sure that we're bringing that good amount in. Are we still with me, everybody? I'm sorry if I'm not in chat. I'm just trying to, at the same time I'm learning, I'm trying to pass on what my knowledge is as well. So can you see where we're going with this? It's really nice, isn't it? Really, really nice. Okay, so we're going to the really cool bit. So with the towel, I'm going to bring this saddle brown and baked earth in first. Don't worry if I've gone outside the line a little bit, because we can always get rid of that with some Posca. So we're just bringing in some of that nice saddle brown baked earth combination. So just come from the bottom and bring that swishy motion upwards. So just keep going. I mean, this is such a good learning exercise as well for anyone that might not have been confident with fur, like me. So I'm bringing all those nice colours up and go with the motion. Go with the motion. Take care, Grace. Again, just keep layering up. We're going to come with Prismacolors as well, but don't go too much over the same area because your page is wet and we can end up with a very wet disaster. So we're just going to bring these colours in. Now you'll see where you would have put the grey. So we're going to go round that and stick with the grayscaling. Yeah, so keep going. So you can see where there's white and you can see where there's darker stuff in there. So like there's darker bits, I say stuff, darker grayscaled areas. So you go with the motion of that. So if we got the grayscaled areas, just bring in your combination of your baked earth and your saddle brown and just kind of place it in where as you see fit. So there's no right and wrong with this. You're just going with the grayscale really. So I'm just very lightly adding and layering up. So again, we're going to do it up here and just with your brush, sort of bring these up. I'm quite happy with how they're coming out. Are you happy with them? Aw, Gracelyn, hey, and I wish you better. I'm glad to have cheered you up. That's what I'm here for. Okay, so I'm just going to plant some of this in. Now this is quite a dark area, so we're just going to go over the entire thing with that and bring down some of that ink because yeah, it's heavily grayscaled on that part. And don't forget, when your page dries, it looks a bit different. So keep that in mind. When it's wet, it's always going to be a bit darker. Always. Right, red oxide. Let's bring some of that in. And get some more red oxide in on this. We're going to kind of bring that red in. So I'm just going to allow that up. Take care, Pickle. Have a good day or evening for us. Have a good evening. And hello to little Mini Hulk and Mini Boss. And I hope your sister's okay. I saw that she's home, so I wish you a speedy recovery at home. Okay, so we're just going to plant in some of that orange. Yeah, so again, this area is quite full with grey, so just don't worry too much about that being like furry. Just put the colour in and have a block. Again, we're going to bring down some of this orange. So the orange tone is tangerine. Pick up some of that tangerine and just put that in. Again, tangerine. Just bring tangerine in. So it's looking all right. She's coming alive. Clean it with bleach. I'll try that one. I'll try that one. I don't mind the stains though, to be fair, because it just shows that it's loved to me. It just is like a very loved board. I love this board. It's one of the best things ever for watercolours, in my opinion. Okay. So again, I'm just going to bring in some of the tangerine. So go with the light. We've got this beautiful hummingbird. Can you imagine what this is going to look like when that's done? Because we're going to go with the traditional colours, I think, because we've done traditional this far. Right, so let me zoom out a second so you can see how she is with just the Inktense. Right, so far, this is what we've got. What I'm going to do is look at her face a bit. And I'm going to bring in just a touch. Now, what I'm going to do is forget the board a minute. And I'm going to go direct to the tip of the Inktense. So I'm just going to push my board aside. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to pick up the colour mid Vermilion, which is 0310. And I'm just going to put a tiny little bit on the tip of this. And just with a nice damp tip of my brush, I'm just going to add a little bit more depth into the face before we come in with any Prismas. I just want to see where I want some deepening up. So you can always go over and make sure this, at this point, the top of this is completely dry. So I'll zoom you back in. Oh, I've just run out of that as well. I need to buy some nail polish remover. I just ran out. That's just reminding me to put it on like a list. Okay, so mid Vermilion, I'm just going to add a touch into her features at the top. So if you bring on down, here you go, from here. And just, I'm adding like a very small amount. It just deepens up that sort of red texture to her face. Thank you, Louise. And just adding a good amount in. So can you see how it's going to deepen up? Now underneath, I'm just going to bring some of that in down here. So just add a touch. And the same coming like upwards. So you're going to meet it. So if that makes sense. So I'm going to come down and then at the same sort of way of thinking, if I bring the down, I also want to meet up. So it's like in both directions. So just, you're adding like a tip. Thank you, Gracelyn. So you're just adding a tip of it. So before we get all our prisms on it and start to really define the fur, we're getting all the mix down with the Inktense, which I think are brilliant. And I don't use them enough, but I have used them in the ink house without any pencils, and they are brilliant. They layer and layer and layer as long as, and they dry so quick. They dry so quick. Okay, so can you see the deepening? Hiya, Victoria. Okay, so just add. Thank you, Connie. Hi, Ashley. And the same with these areas. So the mid Vermilion is just adding in a little bit of depth. And that's what I'm looking for. So just keep going. And the good thing is these brushes are pretty good with going fine. You can get them on a real big tip, and if you wanted to go even finer, you can get the detailer in number 1, but the number 2 is pretty versatile. So just kind of go with the fur, and you've got your areas which has got a slight grey, so we're going to keep those because we're going to come in with our white and our grey. I haven't yet. I could leave that to you. Should we have, what can we have? Cajun, because it looks like a Cajun pepper. We can have Cajun, chili, and spice. Should we have Cajun, chili, and spice? There you go, Cajun. Actually fits them well because they're like reds, like chilies and stuff. Yeah, that one should be called chili because it's a bit more red. So chili, Cajun, and spice. Okay, right, I'm quite happy with that so far with the Inktense. That's all I'm going to do with the Inktense for now. And we're going to bring in our Prismas. So just wipe off your brush because you want it to not have stains. So just press down some water, wipe it off, and it's nice and clean. Right, now we're going to go over to our Prismacolors and put in some of this fur and texture now. So I'm going to start off with a face. Do you want me to repeat which colours we've used so far in the Inktense, or you're okay for me to put them in the description? Because I don't mind before I move on to, because I'll put these aside now because I'm done with those for the time being. As I said, this is not going to be done in one session. It's just going to be 2, I think 2, yeah, 2. Okay, so we're going to do Mrs. Fox here, and we're going to grab onto our Prismas. And I'm first off going to pick up the, I'm going to get Tuscan Red first and put in the deepening of, yeah, thank you, Kenneth. Okay, let's deepen her up. So we're going to get our Tuscan Red, which is PC937. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I'm going to go for this first. Okay, so she's going to have a deeper complexion in her coat, which is going to be sort of around here. So let's bring these little strands of fur. Just keep layering up. So don't be afraid with these. Don't go too heavy. That's the key. So it's a layering up process. So like if I get a piece of paper, you know when I say about fur, I'm doing it in sort of this motion. So if you went too deep, that's what you're going to, we're avoiding this one and we don't want that. So you're kind of just picking up the fur as sort of going like this in very small motions. So we're kind of looking for that. So let's go ahead and just keep adding in. Go with the direction and add small little tiny amounts. I just want her to have, I'm just trying to look. So plan where you want your deeper colours to go. So we're going to go up and by the ear. And very, very light strokes. Am I clear enough for you at all? Just making sure. Cajun is the middle one. This is the mum. So you got chili, Cajun, and spice. Okay. So little tiny, tiny strands, and the same with coming into the ear here. So very small strands. It's coming out all right. I'm quite happy with how I've kind of had in my head how I wanted the colours to be, and I think they're kind of panning out that way, which is good. Okay, I'm going to bring some from underneath here where this little cub is on her. And the same with these tiny little parts here. So I'm just going to deepen those up. We've got to bring all our oranges in. So I'm just adding in the Tuscan Red to start with to just kind of bring that coming up. Thank you. Oh, bless you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. You're so sweet. I'm just happy to be here and happy to do this. I genuinely am. It's like such a joy for me. It's a great way for me to spend a Saturday. Okay, so just keep adding these little tiny strands in, and the same with these areas here. So I'm going to bring in like an extra amount, so you can kind of go against slightly at the ear, because ears are quite messy, aren't they, with their hair. And I'm going to add a nice little amount coming up from the mane before we start bringing in any oranges, etc. So I'm just trying to look. So we're planning, you kind of got to look at bird's eye view where you're going to be going. Thank you. I know. I'm going to do the eyes very shortly. I'm going to have a look at a picture of the eyes and have a do them all in the same colours. So we're going to pull them out. But I think like they light up like light bulbs at night, don't they? So they've got a slight green to them and a yellowy green. I'm pretty sure. I've got to Google it in a minute. Okay, so just bringing some of these strands up. So I'm just sort of adding where I want deep ones before we start layering up with the oranges. So we'll put in our deep dark strands first, and then coming on down. Oh, you're welcome, Joanne. Thanks for joining as always. That's what I mean. It's so nice to have you here. So if we come down this way, so you're planning at a bird's eye view, right? So you're kind of looking like, where do I want dark? Where do I want dark? Right. So we're going to add some deeper parts. So remember, this is just Tuscan Red to start with, and just start layering in your strands and keep turning your pencil, because what ends up when you're doing that is you're keeping a sharp point as much as possible. So if you just look, it's like a very sharp point. Now this is starting to dull a little bit, but what will happen is you can just keep it as sharp when you turn. So you're adding a couple of strands, you turn, add some strands, turn, and it really does keep that as sharp as you need, which is what you're after. Okay, so fair's a tricky one, because you can either have a I'd say go for a grayscale picture, because when you're doing from scratch, it is harder because you've got to plan it. But when you've got a grayscale picture, it's got all the strands there for you, so you're kind of following it along. Now I'm adding these ones in. I'm just going from the hummingbird's tail and downwards. And we will add a bit more depth in here after. So just add enough in her little foot. I'm going to do that as like the darkest area. Just kind of bring all that up. There we go. And then the same with these little areas, just kind of keep going on that. Okay, so we got there with that part. This is just Tuscan Red so far. Now, as we head on over to this section, we're going into where the tail is. I'm going to come over here and work my way back. So I'm going to come from the edge of the tail and I'm going to work my way right back. So I'm going to just add these nice deep strands. And as I'm coming up, I'm releasing my pressure. And just release it all the time. So as you're coming up, just release. So your deep parts will be on the edges. And then as you come, so if I do it on a bit of paper again, coming up, it's sort of like fading. You see that? You start off with a dark point, you end up with like faint. It sort of goes to nothing. So just go with the direction. Now I'm going to have to resharpen. Ah, I'm so glad. Thank you for thinking that way of me. It's so sweet. It's just so nice to have a passion about the same hobby, and we all learn off each other all the time. Okay, so back to a nice sharp dagger. Dagger. Okay. I'm just coming back up, and as you're coming up, as I said, go with the direction. Remember that it's always about that. Same when we did the hair. So remember with fur, it's kind of how I'm grasping it and how I'm starting to fight my enemy with it, because it is my enemy fur, is that have the same mentality as the hair. So you've got a direction to go, you're following that, and remember it's a build up, it's a layering process of the strands. That's how I'm kind of starting to grasp it and not worry about it as much. So again with these, very faint, I'm just going to add those in. There is darker areas and lighter areas. We want to keep them in the same manner. And we're going to bring some of those as well, coming like sort of down. So add them in. Take care, Shell. Thanks for coming. Thanks for spending your Saturday with us. And that applies to everyone that's here. Thank you so much of coming along and spending some of your Saturday with me. Okay, so can you see how that's already deepened? This is just one colour. We've not even layered. Not even layered. So this part is going to be quite orangey, but I'm going to put a few of these Tuscan Red strands. And then all of a sudden it's going sideways. So we're going to go with that. So we're going to add these tiny, tiny little strands into this and go with the flow. So it's coming downwards. So if anyone wants to know, this is Bennett Kleins' Wild book. So it's a colour my sketchbook. They all are. Take care, Phoenix, but it's the Wild one. Wild. So it's not one of, it's quite old now. It's not a new one. I don't know when it was published. When was it published? Does it say? I don't think it does. Hold on. Does it have a publication date? That's gonna make me curious now. It doesn't have it in it. How bizarre. I'm like, where's your publication? Come on. No, there's no publication. Well, it should have it on Amazon. I'm looking for the publication. Well, anyway, it's not a brand new one. It's fairly old now. So yeah, we're down here, wasn't we? So I'm just adding in where I want the deep ones to go with the Tuscan Red. And then we're going to move on over to our oranges because that's our next stage with the whites, and we'll finish this mama and her cubs off. Mama cub combo. Okay, so we're just going to add a few there. So just tiny amounts and very, 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 very lightly, because it's going to be a layering up process. There we go. And that's what we're going to do with that colour. Oh, 2017, there you go. So yeah, 2 years ago. I've had this since then and I've not done anything in it. Thank you, Honor. Okay, next one. That was our Tuscan Red. We are going to say goodbye to that for a moment, and we're going to bring in the colour Mineral Orange. Are we still with the journey? You've so many of you that are still here with me. Thank you. Bless your heart. Right, let's go on over to Mineral Orange. Nice and sharp. And we're going to zoom back in. So I'm going to come up. And I'm just going to very lightly dole out the edging of the Inktense that we just did and blend it outwards because we're going to get the white and the grey. So just lightly dole that out so that it blends out. You're still with me. So that you don't have a harsh edge, just grab your Mineral Orange. As I said earlier, it's PC1033, and it just takes off a harsh line so that when you grab your 20% French Grey 1069, it kind of all sort of blends together really well. So just do the edges and then grab your white so that you can blend that all out, and it just works. It works so nicely. There we go. So we've got no harsh edging. Okay, so then back to your mineral orange. I'm just going to place this slightly differently because it's in my way. So I'm just going to put it at the top. Because I need my hand there. It gets in my way. Yeah, it's in PDF as well, Ray. I'm pretty sure on his site. If you go to Bennett Kleins' site. Take care, Jude. Thanks for coming. Yeah, you can buy these in PDFs. I think they're the same price as the paperbacks, if not a little bit more, if I'm right. Okay. I think the paperbacks are actually a little bit more reasonable. Well, it was here. I don't know about in the US, but it was the case for us. I remember at the time looking because I wanted the PDF originally because of the paper, but I ended up getting the paperbacks because it was cheaper. If you are on Facebook and you're not in Bennett Kleins group, it's got like over 10,000 members, I'm pretty sure. You've got all the details for his books and stuff in there as well. So it's Colour My Sketchbook. It's the Bennett Kleins books. Okay, so we're starting to really come to life now. Hey, Zeely. Oh, so sorry. Oh. Yeah, I think that most of them, sorry about knocking the camera there. Let me just tone down that brightness a little bit. Sorry, I was just rubbing my back then. Okay, back to, because I'm so enjoying this. I would go on quite a while with this one, but I don't want to take up all your time. Okay, so I'm just putting the mineral orange around all of the face, but I'm doing it in little doses, so not all over. What I'm just going to quickly do is just grab my white a second and just very, very lightly blend that bit out. There you go. So mineral orange. There we go. And it does really well. I love this method because for me it seems to work. So if you've got any other ways of doing fur, I'd love to know. But I think a base coat and then working on top of that seems to work for me. Oh no, I need to ask Andrew if he's awake. Okay. Little ones, little there. So small little strands, and then come over to this area here. Okay, so with this section I'm going to leave a big, like how I did there, a bit more light. So I'm going to leave that part. Don't touch that part if you're going to follow me on this. Leave that so that we've got white and cream in there, and bring the mineral orange just above and below that section. So don't forget, foxes have quite a bit of the white, grey white in them, but their white is never white. It's got a slight cream and a slight grey to them. Oh, Nelly, thank you so much. Thank you. Bless your heart. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so keep with the mineral orange. Leave that area and bring all these little strands up and keep going. Now, when you're going to come down to the neck, bring down some more strands, but leave some of the tips. So you're going to have like just an area there that's slightly lighter. And don't forget, it's a layering process, so we've got to keep coming back. That's very, very lovely of you. Thank you so much, Nelly. I appreciate it so much. So we can find something else that we can try out for our Test It Tuesday. Ah, very sweet. So again, leave all this area. So you've got these light areas here. So if I bring you a bit closer. That's okay, Connie. Thank you so much for popping in. So if you can see, I've left some like white areas in between, and I want those because you're going to end up, if you look at if you look at the animal, whatever the subject is of your animal, they're not always completely just one block colour. They've got all these different tones to them. So leave certain areas and like meet up with strands. But I do find that a base just works best for me on fur, and then I work from there, but it kind of plans it out for me. So I will put everything in the description of what I've used in terms of the colours on the foxes. Don't forget, we still got to do the eyes. So just keep going with the fur. Now I've got to keep resharpening. Oh my gosh. It does use quite a bit of your pencil, but then I found that as well with our hair series, like use quite a lot of my pencil. All right, nice and light on this section. So lighten up your pressure of your pencil where it is the lighter areas. And we're going to come back to that. Okay, so keep going with your layers. Your layers are your friend on this. Same when we did hair, our layers was our friend, and it made all the difference. Okay, so can you see all of that? Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining me on it and being a part of it. That makes all the difference to me. Otherwise, I'd just be doing it in my own time. And the only reason that I'm here is because you're all like friends and family now, and it's just amazing to sit with you all and be able to share this stuff when I sort of figure it out. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting there talking to myself, which is no fun. So it's like I hang out with friends every time. Okay, so we're going to come down to this area. Now, don't forget this bit's a bit darker, but you can still add the light in because it's only grayscale, and it although it appears dark, it will still show up this bright orange colour. So you can add it in strands, and then one side is going to be slightly lighter, so leave that. Again, with the opposing side, just bring in all these little strands, and you got to be mindful of gaps, because gaps in this is just, we need them. So you can see where we've left all the white areas. So bring down with the fur lines and very, very small, there we go. This one here, it's like, I'm going to have to turn you ever so slightly, and I don't mean to. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in some of these fur strands this way. And where you put the Tuscan Red, they work and coincide together. So here you can see the Tuscan Red is still very visible, and then you've put the other colour in. So it's kind of worked together. It's sort of bounced off each other, which is what I was hoping. And as I said, when we bring the bronze in to tone down some of the orange, it really does work. Of course you will get there, Jane. I have every faith. As I said, if I can do fur, you can do fur. Just trust me, and I truly mean that. I was petrified of fur. I still don't like it, but it's one of those things. I love the pictures. Okay. I'm just waiting for everybody. For those that watch the recording, I've stopped for a second because my stream is buffering for people. But I'm okay my end. It's fine my end. I have to wait for them to say I'm back. You have to wait it out. I'm back. Am I back? That's what I said. For those watching the recording, it's like I'm waiting for people to say back. You're all back. I know. Take care, Jane. Thank you so much for coming. All right. So I'm going to keep with my mineral orange, and we're coming down to this big fluffy mumbo jumbo towel here. So the towel is so fluffy, and this is the point where you want nice, big, long strands. Just keep bringing them into the middle. Now, some of this will be white, so just you'll see where the difference is. You're back. Hi, Zoe. Yeah, it does. This buffering, I'm telling you, YouTube is against us sometimes. It's like, you've been here too long. Let's just give you a bit of time out. Okay, so I'm just going to try and do this box, and then that's what I said, it's going to be 2 streams. Hey! Hiya, Lozzie. I know, work. Meh. Right, so nice long strands brings to the middle. And as I said, you don't have to colour this, but I'm just trying to show you how I would do things. Everyone's got their own styly. Right, all these tiny little, tiny bits, we're going to come in these little small motions, small motions. And come with the pattern of the grayscale. So we're coming up this way. So we've got nice long bits in there as well that are that are grey and white. So we're going to keep those because we want those. We want a nice bushy tail. This tail is going to look amazing when it's done because I'm going to make sure of it. So nice long strands at the sides. As you come into the middle, shorten them up and just go with small. So nice long into short. Longs at the sides into short. So like that. Thank you. Ah, it arrived. Great. I'm so happy. Okay. We need pumpkin orange. So let's go for number 5. Okay. Oh, my pumpkin orange hates me, I'm telling you. Let's make sure. 1 second. I'm just going to mute you a second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It's because I just had to bash. So anyway, my pumpkin orange has gone from like there the other day. It's one that keeps breaking. Thanks, Mum. Thank you. It was like there the other day, and it's one of those, I think it's broken all the way down, which is really highly annoying. I hate it when that happens. Okay, so we've got pumpkin orange 1032. And now we're going to add that in because it's a lot deeper, and pumpkin orange is one of my favourite colours in the Prismacolor range because I think it's just such a nice autumnal colour. It's got that autumnal feel to it. I love it. Okay, so we're going to bring that this side and also some of them up. So it's just keeping with the pattern that we've got, and some of this is going to be white. So yeah, we're going to go with it. So soon we're going to add just a bit more in here. Where did you go, Mum? Did you go feed the cats? Okay, so add some in there. And the same, bringing up these little strands. So remember to go from a point and bring your strands up. And it's the same on these sections here. And as well, don't forget, we've also got to add some Posca, which makes it look like white fur. I think there isn't too different to... No, it's not. It's not. That's okay, Adrian. Thank you. Oh, you were feeding the cats. I thought so. I'm like, where did she go? Mum's escaping my stream. Okay. Next, some into here. I'm just going to add and place and just keep going. Fur is work. It's one of those worky things, so you have to keep working at it, I think. When I've watched people do portraits and stuff, they go a lot with light strands and go over and over and over. So we're going to kind of just bring some of those like that. Okay, I'm quite happy with that so far. So next up, let's zoom out. Let's see where we got. Thank you. This is so far. I've not finished her yet, but we're getting there. So we've done strands. We've brought this fur to life. We've got grayscale, but we have kind of taken it on our own way. We're building on it. So the next two colours I think we're going to go for. I'm going to come in with my black, my white, and my grey are going to be last. So they are last. What I am going to come in with now is some of the bronze and some of the goldenrod. Oh, I keep doing that. Not too much of it. Okay. So the bronze is going to be just toning down some of the orange colours and just adding that in. I'm so sorry I keep knocking that blooming camera. So bronze is 1028, but it's not metallic, remember, and it goes really well with the oranges. It really does. It complements them. Pumpkin orange and bronze to me always go hand in hand, and it can make a bronze color, but honestly it's not metallic, so you can always lean on it for a slight brown tone, which is what I do. See, I sometimes bring it in if I want to add a little brown area. So we're just going to add on that as well. I'm just adding. Thank you. Thanks so much, everyone. Oh, welcome back, Bridget. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Bridget. Thank you, Michelle and Becky and Lozzie and everyone. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. And I'm glad if someone's taken something away from this stream where they might have been like, I'm not sure how to do it, and now you feel like you could try it. And if anyone wants to know and just join in, I am doing Bennett Kleins, Colour My Sketchbook Wild. And we're using Inktense base, and we're using Prismacolors for detail and Distress Inks to finalise the fur. Okay, so I'm just going in all the areas of where we've been, and I'm just adding in just small amounts of the bronze because we don't need too much. So we're going to come down here, and it is a process. And again, nice long strands. So this is the bronze colour. Just take some away the orange. Let's come up here. And we've got the nice white sections as well. Just like that. Okay. Thank you, Joey. What's my favourite colour? Someone asked me if dusky pink. Black in clothes, but I like a dusky pink or a rose gold pink. Not like bubblegum pinks. Like a rose gold, a dusky pink. Like a, you know, in like the Inktense Shiraz, that type of pink. It's like a really nice dusky colour. Okay. I'm going to go for goldenrod. Rose goldies, that type. I'm pink. I like pinks, but not like a neon or a bubblegum, if that makes sense. Is anyone else with me? You know what I mean. Okay, so this is goldenrod. I'm just going to take some of this down around her nose. Not much. And I'm going to put some underneath the eye. Just a little bit. So you can just do this in little tiny sections. And I'm going to bring a little bit outwards as well. Okay, so we're going to come down to the tail. And I'm going to add a little bit more of this in. So it's a layering process, but this one's a little bit more of like a yellow tone. So we've got a lot of tones going on. But her tail, we're going to put a little bit of the fired brick Distress Ink. So we're going to really deepen up this part especially, and her legs. There we go. Right. So before we go any further with the black and stuff, I'm going to put the white. So grab, so bless you, you don't have to do anything. Oh, bliss. I think if you did it in stages, you probably would, but probably not in one go, if that makes sense. 20% French grey can be like a labour of love, bliss. Is 1069 and white is 938. So the 1069, the French grey. Now I'm going to really sort of put the greys down where I want them. So it's very light. So if I show you on a bit of paper against white, it's like that. It's not a dark grey. It's like a very, I'm trying to think of the word, but it's not, it's like a mid grey. It's quite light. It takes away the whiteness because they're not white. And we're going to put that into the white areas of the fox. So all those white areas that we left, we're going to come back with our 20% French grey. So just be careful of the strands that you've put in. So just kind of go against where they are and go into the gaps kind of thing. Same with down here, bringing that French grey in. I'm just going to add that before we put any white. And then all these areas on the towel, I'm going to plant in the grey into all these areas, and just in all those areas that we have it, I'm adding them in. There we go. So it just adds a nice dimension to her. It does. It's a bit more warming. And then the white, I'm only going in the places that I really, really need it. So on this area, only a little bit. And then around the ear on that one. I'm going to come down here and I'm only going to add a few in. So you can kind of see. Thank you, Katrina. So they do have white strands in there. So we're just going to plant a few. You can see them come through. It really does make a nice effect. I'm liking that. Okay. So just like that. Just like that. Right, so zooming out a second because the distress ink part, we need to zoom out. Okay. Is it all clear on your screens? Put your brightness up a tad. Right. So remember we were using the two distress inks, which is Spiced Marmalade and Fired Brick. So we're going back to those. Now on Mama, she doesn't need too much of the Fired Brick. She's going to have Fired Brick more in this area, but we're going to use the Spiced Marmalade a little bit more up there before we put any black and any Posca. Our two final pieces will be these two before we do the eyes. But into Mama, we need to put some more Spiced Marmalade. So just grab your paper, grab your distress ink. Now, very, very small amounts. So you're just going to dab. Just put a little amount on there. And we're just going to make sure that that's just deeper. Gives that dimension that we're looking for. So you're dabbing. You're not putting too much. It just adds a little last bit of texture that we're looking for before we add the final details in. And then we do the eyes. So just tap, tap, tap. It's not taking away any of that gorgeous texture we've put in with the fur. It's just adding a tiny bit of dimension that we were looking for, and it saves us doing all that anyway. It adds. This is enhancing it, and you're keeping all the fur because I'll show you up close. So if you tap very lightly, it doesn't seem to leave those round blobs. It kind of just. Thank you. It kind of just, it goes with the flow of the fur rather than adding any blob. Okay, so just keep dabbing and coming back, and that's it. I mean, it's so minimal. You're barely touching the paper. Just adds that last bit. Right, and then last but not least, hi, Rochelle. Oh, that's okay. Thanks for popping in anyway. It's so sweet of you guys. Even when you've got to do things, you still do it. Bless you. Thank you. Okay. So next, I'm going to get the fired brick, but I don't want too much of it. So wipe off your excess. Hi and bye. So we don't want too much of this one because this one's quite deep. So we're just going to add a little bit in. So just a tiny amount we're going to put around the edge. So you're coming into where was your deep sections, but you've got all your strands. And I will go up close for you very, very shortly. So this little leg of hers that was deep, we're going to make sure that that's, you know, the focal point. And wherever your focal point was on deeper, just go with a fired brick. So it adds that dimension in for me. So just, hey, Andrea. Thank you. Okay, and then I'm going to show you. I'm going to add the black in, and then we're done on the fur. Just got to do the eyes. Okay, that's all we needed on that. So it just adds the deepening of it. Let me show you. Just put a little bit more on there. And just, this is the excess. I haven't put any more on my dabber. Okay, so we've got to go with black. Okay, so just wipe your dabber off on a bit of paper until it's mostly clean, because you're just going to use that dabber again for those kinds of colours. So it just makes like a little bit of a difference in the deepening of it. And then what we'll do with the black, so we're going to come with our black, which is our final colour, because obviously that's the sort of detailing will always come from black. You don't want to override it. I'm going to add some few more white bits in there as well, but we'll do that after. The black kind of just gives last details. Like when we did the hair, we always added black detailing, didn't we? But it wasn't the overrunning colour. It was just the colour that sort of defined everything. Always does. So she's got a deep section here. Just with your black, just make that stand out. And the same with like the edging here of her leg. Just kind of add that as well. So I'm going into the zone for a second. Same with this bit and this bit, a little foot. You kind of just make that stand out. Now with her nose, just come up. Oh, Mum. This looks like cheating. No, we're not cheating. We've done a lot of work here. Okay. So just adding in. So I've gone quiet because I'm just adding the details in so that you can see. Can you see that? So we deepen the nose up. Thank you, Teresa. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so with the mane as well, let's add a few in there. We've got to add a whiskers. So just small amounts. We're hardly, so with the paper, you're kind of just going very lightly with the black and not like that. So can you see the difference? So we're going really, really lightly. I'm just adding enough to sort of just see. Now with the ears, remember we've always got the ears are always deeper. So you can branch off with a few more up there because that's what that's about. Okay. And then with the whiskers, Mama has quite a few here. So just make sure that they're all defined out. I'm going to bring those right out. I know. We can cheat though, right? If we wanted to. We could. There we go. So she's got some real big whiskers. Can you see that? Ah, thank you. Okay, so what we'll have to do next is the eyes. So we're going to have to look up the colours quickly before we end today's stream. We'll do the eyes. Right. White Posca. Oh, really, Honey Bear? Hi, welcome back. It comes with time. They're always my go-to. Okay, so let me zoom you in one. And then we've got to quickly do the eyes. Right. So we're going to go around the nose a little bit. Just put a little tiny blob. And then very fine. It's like the hairs kind of come out of the ears. It's always the way. And then with the towel, I'm just going to add, oh, no, forget that one. I'm just going to add a few in. Just little ones, just to kind of bring out. Just add enough in to be able to see. You're going at such a fine sort of rate. You don't want to add too many. Just kind of brings them out. Right, let's add a few that way. And then around her little sort of paw there. She's got a few coming out. 1 second, I'm just thinking out loud. I'm thinking out loud. I'm with you still. I'm with you still, I promise you. I'm just kind of taking you through my thoughts when I'm thinking out loud. And the same with these little whiskers. It's like tiny little whiskers around this little bit here. There we go. Okay, so she's got little tiny bits. Right, so let's do the eyes. Let's do the eyes. I think I just want to add a couple more. There we go. Just enough to kind of bring her out. Right. Zoom on out. Are we good at the angle we're at the moment? Let's have a look at fox eyes, what colours they are. So I will leave all these colours aside so that you know which we've used. So that's Inktense and Prismacolors and 2 Distress inks, what we've used so far. They're yellowy, aren't they? They've got a yellow, is it like got a slight green tint to them on her? Is that a yellowy green? They just come along so cute. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, I thought so. So, 1 minute. Fox eyes. Fox eyes. Yeah, they've got like a yellowy, they've got orange. Oh, they're nice. Okay, so they've got an orangey yellow. Oh, wow. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So let me zoom so you can see. Let me put that on my screen. Right, so this would be fox eyes. Can you see that? They're like got an orange tint, but it's like that ochre yellow and orange. Can you see that? So it's like an orangey. Should we go for orange and yellows? We'll go for orange and yellows. I haven't got a huge space, but we'll go for orange and yellows. So the orange I'm going to go for then is our mineral orange, and we need a yellow. Should we go for yellow ochre and then black? Hey, Chip. Can I have a tea, please?
Yeah, what about hey, Andrew?
Hi, Andrew.
Hello, everyone.
Andrew, can you do me a huge whopping great?
Did you tell everyone about Hugh Jackman and how lucky you are and what a wonderful man I am?
Yes, Andrew.
Okay, I'll make you tea.
Yeah, I think I know what we'll go for then. It's the yellow ochre and the mineral orange and the black. But it's like it's definitely an ochre yellow, isn't it? I did, didn't I, Becky? I did. 1 second. I'm not looking at the screen for a minute. I'm just trying to find the pencils. Because I've got my pencils here and I'm like, these are my ones that I use all the time. I put them in here. Yeah, I do as well. Right, I need a pencil extender.
Where's your mum?
Oh, I put it in the kitchen, but I don't want a big one, just a small one. Because otherwise I forget about it. It goes cold. Okay. Because yeah, it just goes cold, it goes to waste. So just a smaller one, thanks. Yes, I know. Mineral orange, yeah, mineral orange and yellow ochre. That's the ones I've pulled. Let's have a go. Let's have a go.
You know I'm going.
Huh?
I'm going.
Yeah, I know.
I've got a 100-year-old priest who wants to get drunk waiting for me.
They all know about your 100-year-old priest that you got to pick up. I have told him.
He made 100.
Yeah, is he 100 now?
He's made 100, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go for the yellow ochre first because that's our lightest colour. Yeah, it goes not every Saturday, but quite a few Saturdays. All right, so I'm going to have to bring you down because I've just realised that you aren't close enough. So just bring you down a tad. There you go. All right, so that's it. Perfect. So first off, I'm just going to go over the entire thing with the yellow ochre because that's our lightest colour. I'll have the normal tea actually. I haven't had one of those in a while. Okay, so we just go over it all with the yellow ochre. I don't know what number that is until I look on another pencil. Yellow ochre is 942. Okay, because I've got my little one that's the numbers just disappeared. Yeah, he's 100. I know he goes drinking on the weekends. He's in a wheelchair and he nearly died. Bless him. And he come back from what they thought was it's his like last legs, and he came back and he still goes out. Okay, so mineral orange 1033, and all I'm going to do with this is very lightly. You can't really see it on the little guy, but we're just going to bring some of that in. Might see it on the bigger lady. Yeah. I'm just going to bring in like strands. Pumpkin orange. Let me try that. That's better. He wasn't showing up. So just in small amounts. And the top will probably be deeper. Just a little amount. I know. I can't find that one in that pencil case. I have to get the others out. I've just gone for pumpkin orange. This will do for now.
Because you have normal tea, I can do the taste test. It's Andrew approved.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the priest, I didn't tell you. You know when he came out of the hospice?
Yeah.
They were all like chanting Alleluia and like sweet Jesus and all that.
Were they?
Yeah, when I took him. Yeah, true story.
Oh, bless him.
Yeah, he's come back. He's 100 years old.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Oh, for around the iris. I have to find one. Okay. What time are you home?
8:30.
Okay. Just going around there.
Where's
Huh?
my jacket?
I don't. There.
No.
Oh, I'm going back to my yellow ochre a minute. Okay, so it's just around the edge. I don't know if you've seen, it's like got an orangey yellow to them. Oh, thank you. Oh, take care, whoever's going. I'll see you later. I'm nearly done. Let me see if I've got it in here. Because I'm always losing like my pencils to the case, the bigger case. So if it's not in here, I'm just going to grab my Tuscan Red on her and try that. Just have a hint of it because it's not in there and I can't search for it. All right, I'm just going to grab my Tuscan Red at 937. I'm just going to add a touch. We've got to put the black, haven't we? That actually comes out all right because it's not doing a heavy amount. That's not bad. Okay, and then our black. Let's get our black and let's deepen those middle sections. See, they come down and then they kind of branch out. don't they? They kind of come down that way. Yeah, I was going to do that. Okay, because they've got deep like rings, haven't they? Okay, so sorry about going quiet. I'm concentrating on this last bit because we are at the end of today. Almost. Okay, so that one's like that. And then the very top, we're going to go round. And the same with that part. We're going to come up and round. Just give them a little bit of a... Let me look. Okay, love you, bye. Yeah, because they've got like a... It said bye, everyone. It comes out there, doesn't it? Same with this bit. It comes like down here. Same, it comes down. We just add in the black. And then we've got to get our Posca, but they come sort of down. If you look at Fox's eyes, they come like round and down here. And the same with this one. So spicy, Cajun and chili are looking like little foxes. So the next time we come back on this picture, which I'll let you know on because we've got next is going to be our skin episode 2. We're going to come back to doing the hummingbird, the lily, and the background. So just trying to make sure that that stands out. Just a little bit more down there. Okay, I'm just trying to, you know, on the last bits, it's making sure that it's finished up. And then with Posca, that one. Like that. Okay, and then we're just going to add, that is already in there, but we're just going to add a touch more. So it just sort of highlights it. There we go. Okay, let me zoom one out. And then bring you up a bit because we went down, didn't we? Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the hummingbird. I'm going to do the same technique. I'm going to do Inktense and Prismas, I think. Okay, so for today, although we haven't done the whole picture, there was never going to be that. We've done fur. Yes, Tilly. We have done fur, and I think we've done quite a good process because I've learnt, you've learnt, hopefully, and we've enjoyed doing it. So we've done 3 foxes from the Bennett Kleins Colour My Sketchbook Wild. Take care, Louise. Thanks for coming. We have done all the fur. We've used Inktense on the board. We've used Prismacolors for all the details and a tiny bit of texture with the Distress inks. And we've also put some Posca pen, and it just finished them off, in my opinion. So it's looking a little bit more realistic towards 3 foxes. So next time that we come back to this, we're going to start off with a hummingbird, and we'll do that quite realistic to the colours of a hummingbird. We'll do some lilies, and we'll do the border, and we'll finish this off. We did fur. Yes, we did. Thank you so much. So thank you so much to Connie and Nelly. Bless your hearts. There's 2 super chats today. I never expect. So thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining me and having a nice couple of hours with me to relax. I'll be back on Tuesday. And what's the date? Tuesday is the 11th. I'll be back on the 11th for the next, I think we're going to do the Mermaid Eel Lady. We'll do that in all greens. So thank you so much. And I'm happy, Lozzie, that you got your picture today. And hopefully I'll see you all around on everybody else's streams. Thank you, everyone. No, thank you. Have a good day, evening, night, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you on Tuesday, everybody. Thank you. Bye.